Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our latest dialogue. I'm Sai, representing BPUR International, and today I will be speaking with Mr. Struan Stevenson. Welcome, Mr. Stevenson.
Hi, Sai. Very nice to speak to you today.
So I'm going to give the audience a quick lowdown for anyone who's not familiar with your track record. You are a former leading member of the European Parliament, representing the Conservative Party from 1999 through to 2014. You served as president of the European Parliament's delegations and intergroups, and currently you are CEO of Scottish Business UK, as well as a writer and prominent lecturer on political affairs. There's more we can't cover, but I'd implore anyone to check out our website, bpur.org, for a full bio on Mr. Stevenson's history. I have also been told that you are the first supporter of BPUR International and member of the board. So, how did you get involved with BPUR?
Well, actually, I was at a conference in Riga in Latvia way back in 2015. And one of the speakers at the conference was someone you may know, Salam Saran. And he approached me after I'd given my presentation and said to me, he said, I'm from Iraq. You were president of the delegation for relations with Iraq in the European Parliament. You've been to my country. Uh, you know, we need to find some way of resolving these sectarian problems, these problems of uh, politicians using religion for their own political ends, and using religion in a way that is unhelpful to minorities, to women, to various people. And I was immediately taken with his presentation, with his idea. And I said, okay, what can we do? And he then explained to me that he was thinking of a UN treaty to get an international treaty that would ban the political use of religion. And we started together working on that. We developed the name BPUR, ban the political use of religion. And it has grown from there to, spectacular levels now, with a resolution now going through the Council of Europe, which is backed by the majority of members of the Council of Europe. So we're really making great progress. And we have recruited on our advisory council leading international theologians. We have a former Archbishop of Canterbury. We have a Archbishop from the Orthodox Church. We have a leading imam. We have a leading representative of the Jewish community. So, we are covering theology, politics. We have distinguished backers from experts from the United Nations who've helped us prepare a draft treaty. So, the idea of Salam Saran was a fabulous idea, and it deserves international approval.
There's no question that it's going to be hugely important for the world. But how do you feel that BPUR's particular approach to this sometimes tumultuous, dangerous issue of mixing religion with politics, how do you think BPUR's particular approach might succeed where other initiatives, other movements might have failed in the past?
Well, I think it will be successful because BPUR has made a particular point about saying, we don't want to say that any religion or any adherence to religion should be banned. That is the opposite of what we're saying. We're saying that any treaty must respect separate religions, must respect people's right to belief, to faith. And that's why we are getting the backing of these eminent theologians. we're building this into our concept. So we're saying it is the political use of religion that we want to ban. It's where religion is exploited for political gains. That's what can cause hatred. That's what can cause a division. That's what can cause conflict. And our motivation has always been to look at a way of resolving the conflicts that rage around the world. Now, you can go back in time to, what's happened in history with the Crusades, then the Inquisition, and now with the Islamic fundamentalism, if you like. But we've seen this in every religion in the world throughout history. There has to be a better way of resolving these conflicts, of stopping them happening again. And we believe that the international treaty to ban the political use of religion is the sure way forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, firm rules that apply to everyone,
Yeah.
regardless of faith, regardless of your position in the world. Um, so now that BPUR is, on the international agenda, as you mentioned before, and anticipating state adoption and resolution at the Council of Europe, how do you see the next steps moving forward?
Well, we want to get our draft treaty backed by one or multiple governments, and we're making incredible progress in doing that. We have quite a few governments in the international, stretching from Ecuador to Bangladesh. We have governments that have shown acute interest in our proposal. And we are hopeful now that with the progress that we're making in the Council of Europe, where a resolution backed by them will be tabled ultimately at the General Assembly of the United Nations, we're hoping that we can get this tabled at the United Nations and from there move quickly towards the implementation of an international treaty. Now, such a treaty would be, it would be indisputable for anyone to say they didn't want to sign it. Any nation that said, oh, no, we don't want to sign a treaty that bans the political use of religion because we want to continue discriminating against minorities or women or on religious grounds, on sectarian grounds, it would be, ridiculous. It would be self-condemnatory for any government ever to say that. So it would place the emphasis on nation states to sign up to this treaty or to become pariah nations. And there would be built into our treaty, there would be a way of, exposing the violators. And there would have to be ways of dealing with that. And I would hope that BPUR International would continue to have a role as the people who were the motivators and the original precursors of this international treaty to have a role in monitoring it.
Mhm. That leads me on to my next question about how you see the end goal of this mission and hopefully, when we can get there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a lot of work as we know to our cost. The weaponization of religion is something that has gone on for millennia. And, we have to tackle that. We have to find a way of stopping it. It's not going to happen overnight, but we are making such breakthroughs internationally with the backing of legislators, with the backing of lawmakers in government after government, in nation after nation, with an advisory council now that has grown exponentially. So I am convinced that we are heading very quickly now towards a final victory where we can table in front of the General Assembly of the United Nations a treaty that will accept and be accepted internationally.
So what are the intermediate steps right now that BPUR is aiming for at the moment?
Well, we're aiming to get the backing of a government or multiple governments. We're aiming to get the resolution approved in the Council of Europe. Fundamentally, we need to build this core support to persuade the United Nations General Assembly that this is something that internationally will be approved. We know from past experience how, for instance, the treaty to ban the manufacture of landmines, you would have thought that that would be something that would be passed very swiftly. But, when you start dealing with the General Assembly of the UN, these matters take a long time. And finally, the UN passed the landmine treaty, and we are heading towards getting international approval for a treaty to ban the political use of religion.
It's also very exciting. So how do you personally plan to promote BPUR and this mission and contribute further in these next stages?
Well, I'm a writer, I'm a lecturer, so I write newspaper articles about BPUR. I've mentioned it in some of the books that I've written. And, by speaking to leading international politicians and legislators that I know personally, and people of, distinguished people from religion, from politics, I'm spreading the word, and that's the best that I can do. And when I lecture in universities, I mention this because when people say to me, well, what can we do about all the violence that is taking place around the world? The world is becoming a more dangerous place almost daily. What can we do to resolve these conflicts? And that's my opportunity always to mention BPUR. And it's amazing what a great reaction it gets.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Struan. Thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for your devotion to this cause to make the world more fair and more peaceful.
Well, a BPUR international treaty is long overdue.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for watching, and speak again soon.